then no matter how much beauty one has, how much wealth one has, if one is cheating with another, the wealth cannot save their happiness, the beauty cannot save their happiness.
Farid Ahmed's words of forgiveness were heard around the world following a terror attack in Christchurch, New Zealand.
I want a heart that will be full of love and will forgive lavishly.
His words and stories offer both healing and hope for the future.
If our heart is full of love, then peace will start from here.
Episode 43, Marriage and Morals. You were talking about your ideals, your dream for a marriage last time you spoke. Nothing there, though, connected to the Western ideal. From what I think, you grew up in this idea of romantic love. You have to feel the love, and it's a beautiful person. You marry this beautiful person. Was that part of your thinking, or is that not the way it is?
Okay, very good question. Probably I was taught about few things in a different way.
Yep.
So, for example, the beauty. Yes, I like beauty. But to me, the definition of beauty was different. So, beauty in looking, beauty in the structure of the face, color of the face, structure of the body is one kind of beauty. But another beauty is the personality.
Yeah.
So to me, the personality beauty was more important. I wanted someone who will have good qualities, good knowledge, good understanding, and lots of common sense, flexibility, humility. Those sort of things were beauty to me. So this is one thing. The second thing is wealth. Yes, generally, when people marry, they look for beauty, wealth, money, social status, family status, etc., etc. So to me, wealth was the bottom of the list. I do not know why wealth never ever attracted me. Never. Because I do not have anything against wealthy people, but I have seen most of my relatives who were wealthy, they were very egoistic people. Not all, but most of them. Somehow the wealth made them feel that they are upper class. And they used to, tell people off who were, not rich like them. So with those experiences, I probably in my childhood even I lost the dream of the wealth much, because I wanted a wife who would be my life partner. Normally when we choose business partner, we check properly that what is the attitude of my partner. Is my partner too angry, too obsessive, selfish? We check all those things. But a marriage is a life partnership. Not only life, the effect of the marriage continues generation after generation. So in that thing, my My interest was about the person, not the wealth. Even if the person was poor, but the person had to have good moral character. That was my focus. So I was not after money, and I was not after just the outward beauty, because I knew that this outward beauty, it is there one day and it is not there another day. If people become sick, then this temporary beauty can go. But the real person, the personality, the loving character, those things are treasures. They never disappear if it is instilled properly in a person. So, marriage, the honeymoon stage does not last forever. After honeymoon stage, when husband and wife, when they face the reality, then you will know the real person. And at that time, the marriage can last happily if two people are good in their moral character. If one is cheating to another, then no matter how much beauty one has, how much wealth one has, if one is cheating with another, the wealth cannot save their happiness, the beauty cannot save their happiness. So those things, somehow I learned from my childhood from some good teachers. They used to advise me on those practical things in life. So that's why my mind was very much set up that money and wealth, not important. How person looks, not important. But the most important thing is the moral character, the personality. Now you can, add a question in here. You can say that, so what did you see in Husna?
In our whole conversation, Farid, you have yet to say Husna or how you met her. How did you meet her first? How did that happen?
Yeah. Okay. I think what I knew about her, is more my focus, because in our society, we are in 55,000 square mile land. We are 180 million people. So that tells you that if you live in this suburb, then from another suburb, we know about you. Because we live so close, and our relatives, our friends are everywhere. So that's how, where Husna was, I was probably about 16 miles away only, not far. But we had from our village many people, they married there, so they had relationship there. The same, here. Look, my oldest brother, his wife was only a couple of miles away from her. So that's how,
So you already kind of knew her
Yes.
as part of family, part of...
Yes, and then the stories, people talk, they tell stories about, oh, this girl is very good, oh, this girl has this, oh, this girl has lost her father, oh, Farid is doing this. She was very popular in her area. She was very popular when she was in high school. She was always best in sports. So she was the best runner. And in her primary life, high school life, she always got the first prize. She was a very good MC. Very good MC. So she had some extraordinary qualities that she stood out, From her primary school, she stood out because from primary, in her region, she was the best runner. She was a small lady. She could fly, you can say, very light, and she could fly. Anyway, so she was well known, and I was also well known. I was well known in my entire area because I have done lots of things in my high school. I was involved in promoting my high school even outside my area to the government. And then when I went to the city, I was a student leader, quite well known, and many students from her area was also either my classmate. Even I had a roommate, who was from that area. So it's a small world there. Knowing is not a problem. It's not a problem.